hi guys. Been a little while since I've done some hardware stuff. Things have been running pretty smoothly, but I did run into some issues just recently. So as you know, the MSI SLI Krait edition is a motherboard that I switched to a little while ago from the Asus X99 Deluxe, which I had some huge USB problems with. And so I was having some problems with that. And what happened was I would reset this motherboard, do a cold reset or a warm reset, and sometimes it just would not boot. And it was related sometimes to the USB, and sometimes it wasn't related to the USB, and it was very intermittent. So it was very strange, and I was getting situations where I just couldn't depend on the hardware. So the X99S has been retired after a little bit of a run. I don't know why it failed or why it started becoming intermittently reliable, but as I run my business on it, I can't have that happening. So I went down and at first I went and upgraded the CPU because I figured, oh, well, the motherboard's been very reliable, so the CPU is probably it. So this is what I upgraded to. The Core i7 Extreme. It is the 6950 at 3 gigahertz, 25 megabytes of cache, socket 2011-3 with 10 cores, so 20 hyperthreads. So as you know, I do some video processing, some photography along with my business to promote my business, and this really helps with doing the rendering of the videos. As a matter of fact, I'm recording this in 4K, and hopefully you guys will see the appreciate the difference. So your question is, what did I upgrade to? So I replaced the motherboard, and that was with this, the X99 Gaming Pro Carbon by MSI. I feel that MSI has done a great job with their motherboards, so I went ahead and went with this. Now, strangely enough, this chip, this CPU, would not run on the X99S Krait edition. I did have the latest BIOS installed, or went through the Windows software to install it. But by the time I had torn everything apart and was putting in this new CPU, and it was not posting, not getting any screen, I didn't really have an effective way to upgrade the BIOS, so I went ahead and upgraded to this motherboard. And this motherboard's working actually very well. I'm enjoying it. It seems to be running pretty steady. Now, I will offer a caveat. I've learned some more about USB 3.0, 3.1, and this motherboard does have a couple USB 3.0 ports that do cause issues, and there are a couple of USB devices, my racing pedals, to name one of them, seem to cause the boot to fail. So I had to do some creative moving around of my USB hubs and things like that to get things to work. So USB 3.0 seems to me to be an issue. When I do plug into USB 2.0, things seem to work a little better. So I don't know that this USB issue is really solved per se. I don't know that the issue is with the motherboard or with the USB devices or some combination thereof. But it certainly does seem to me that the issue is when you have lots and lots of USB devices, you can run into issues and problems. So wanted to update that for you guys and just let you know. Now in the future, I am going to be actually showing you some boot times on my computer here. So I have the Samsung, I believe it is the 850 or 950 M2IE, I think it is, SSD as my system boot device and where the files get written for my hibernation. And I can tell you, when this computer does hibernate and I click the mouse, not click the mouse, but hit the power button to wake it back up, I'll be back up and at the login screen within 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds. I'll film that for you guys later to show you the speed. Additionally, I have 3 SSDs, normal SATA SSDs in the system, along with 2 4 terabyte, excuse me, 2 4 terabyte hard drives that I use for bulk storage. The SSDs I use for applications and games and things like that. So this CPU, very, very nice, pretty pricey, but really nice. I have some pretty complex Excel sheets that I work with, and it'll get all the cores running and things happen a little quicker. And of course, video rendering. What can you say? I think I've got one of the top of the line CPUs besides the enterprise level Xeon processors that can handle that kind of stuff. So very happy with the new purchase. Was a little upset that my prior CPU and motherboard started getting flaky on me. I'm not sure what the situation was. I also am not sure if it is related to this memory either. I'm not sure what brand this is. I think it's Corsair Viper Extreme. That may have been part of the problem too. Strangely enough, one of the slots on the MSI motherboard, the X99S SLI, wouldn't let me insert one of these chips for some reason. I'd pull the DIMM, put it into another slot, and it worked just fine, but I'd put it in that one particular slot, and I couldn't get it to actually snap and seat with confidence. You could still close this, but it didn't have that click, so maybe one of the metal pins got bent and wasn't letting any SIM go in there. I don't know. So I think the problem with the X99S isn't probably the motherboard itself, more than maybe wear and tear, or something got inserted incorrectly, something like that, which caused the problem. Because switching to this, haven't had any issues, and just had some USB stuff I had to sort out. Hopefully that guide helps you. If you have any questions about the new motherboard, which right now I think I'm overclocked to, let's take a look here. I am overclocked to 4.2, 4.3, I think, and it's been running like a champ. Currently I have a dual radiator water cooling system in there. It is one of the ones you can just buy off the shelf, Corsair, those guys. I forget exactly what the brand of it is, H100 I think. And my CPU right now at idle is running at 33 degrees. When I run some ARMA, which doesn't use all the CPU cores by the way, it runs up to maybe 40, 50 degrees. So it's keeping it nice and cool. Right now I'm running at 4.2. And it jumps up to 4.3 every so often. It is a 43 multiplier on a 98 megahertz bus. I'm not sure why I did that, but I just used the little dial on this motherboard, and it seemed to work just fine. What else can I tell you? Well, here, let me show you. This is always fun. Let's go to Task Manager and take a peek here at the CPU, of course. There you go. 5, 5, 5, and 5 for 20 hyperthreads. And 4.26, 4.3 on the speed. So there you go, guys. Have a great day. Hope this was informative. If you have any questions or would like me to bench something, let me know. Talk to you soon.